Well, hey, there are a few dark sides of calling. Do you want to explore
Yeah,
those now or
I'm
later?
curious about that. No, let's do it.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about some of the research has found there's some dark sides. There's a couple. One is when someone has a sense of calling but is not able to enact it.
Mm,
Mm,
So that could be they have not built the qualifications for it. It could be there are structural or societal barriers. We're
mm.
looking at parts of the world right now that are experiencing, unrest and
Yeah,
disruption. You can't build a career
right.
in that type of environment. Our own society here in the US is going through a time of racial reckoning and
Hmm.
reckoning with the experience of women and many marginalized groups who have not had long-term access and support in careers. So that is a very frustrating experience, and it can actually lead to lower levels of life satisfaction, to have a
Hmm.
very clear sense of calling, but not be able to live it out.
Right.
So that is a dark side.
Yeah.
And I think, Time in your company is a great example of trying to create a great environment where all sorts of people can thrive. So again, kudos
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Another is sometimes people become too rigid in their decision making.
Mm.
And so I would say for anyone who's a student and early career, that you can have a strong sense of what you want to do, but you may find that you're going to enact your sense of calling a little later in your career. Sometimes you have to build a career. There are multiple steps. You have to learn the basics of the industry. You have to build the technical skills that are necessary to be an investment banker or a computer programmer. So you have to, and it's not about paying your dues per se, but it's about building the requisite skills and knowledge, and that takes time.
Hmm.
And so sometimes people want to pass up on these opportunities that don't seem perfect, but actually are perfectly leading them in the building of their career.
Mm.
So rigid thinking. I see you laughing, Dave. Does
No,
that
it's a, yeah,
resonate with you?
actually
Or
that's
have
a
you seen
good
that?
way to think about that. Yeah, exactly. I've seen people do the same thing. I don't want to do this job. I just want to like go and make the thing. It's like, well, to make the thing actually requires certain skills and experiences. So I
Mhm.
want to help you get those so you can then make the thing and it'll be great. It's really hard to
Exactly.
do that actually.
Exactly. You have to have the core experience. I
Right.
think of someone who wants to be like a director of marketing. Well, sometimes you have to spend a lot of time in a supermarket figuring out how to position the cereal boxes,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
how they should, and that's
right.
that's hard work, but that's the foundational work that
Yep.
you're doing. Or you're the person running the regression models in the survey, the
Right.
customer survey. It's a lot of work, but that's how you build the
Yep.
insights
Yep.
and the instincts. So those are two. Another one is sometimes people with a strong sense of calling can be taken advantage of
Hmm.
because they love the work so much. They're not negotiating their salary for what it should be. They're giving too much of themselves. So being taken advantage of, people with a strong sense of calling, and especially people in social services,
Yeah.
can tend to do that. And then the last is burnout. Sometimes your life can become really imbalanced. We were talking about this self-concept. You have multiple identities within you, and you don't want the work identity to essentially crowd out the other dimensions of your life, because work is not the only dimension that brings fulfillment.
Hmm.
So those are some things you need to watch out for and to be managing.
Yeah.